Hello, everyone. It is me, Miss Crystal. You know that. Maybe you don't know that. I don't know. Maybe this is your first time looking at me. This is episode 21 of Miss Crystal's podcast program, or MCPP for shorthand. And today is December 15th. At the time of this recording, it's still November, but you don't need to know that. Today is December 15th. Like I said, we are done with touring at this point. There's no more shows in December or January as of now. Stay tuned for dates in the future, probably spring. And people are saying a lot of things like, what about Texas? Are you coming to Texas? We'll probably come to Texas. Shows have been wonderful so far. People have been bringing me figurines, trinkets. Someone gave me a Starbucks gift card. Someone is talking in the background very loudly. Let me text that person that's talking loudly and tell them to stop talking loudly. Yeah, you could shut that. Let's see here. December 15th, we are about a week out of the Christmas episode. And boy, that's going to be a doozy. And I don't know actually what's going to happen, but I'm just anticipating that it's going to be a doozy because it's Christmas, the Christmas episode. The Thanksgiving episode, I thought was fun. Could it have included more cakes, pies, and food related talk? Probably. I think I talked about it enough. Anyway, like I said, no more shows coming up in the near future, except for Tammy's Pontoon Party, which is a cruise with the one and only Trailer Trash Tammy. I'll be there. Jeremiah Watkins will be there. We're having a live Trailer Tales on a ship. The first podcast that's ever been done on a ship. Never in the history of podcasts has one been done on a ship. That is February 26th to March 2nd. Extended. Last time it was only 3 days. This time it's 5 days. So that's 5 days of debauchery. People lifting up their shirts and showing their men and women alike wearing muumuus, bikinis. Wouldn't recommend getting in the hot tubs because there are a lot of people in the hot tubs doing a lot of different things. At least don't drink the water in the hot. Like, don't accidentally go down in the hot tub and get some water in your mouth to go. Because you will either get an STI, a urinary tract infection, or botulism. One of those. Go to tammyspontoonparty.com and you can find out all the details. There are still cabins available. Now, will you be staying in a cabin near me? No. I have the luxury of being on a floor where the cabins are large. And that's because I'm a performer. The performers, we get special cabins. And we have butlers. And the butler comes around every once in a while and says, Miss Crystal, do you need anything? And I usually say no. Because I don't like to bother people. But yeah, find me on the ship. I'll be probably rolling around on a scooter. Because if you walk from point A to point B, the aft to the trunk of the ship, it's probably a half a mile or more. I don't know the footage, but it's big. And sometimes people fall off of cruise ships. So we're going to make sure that none of the people on the ship fall off. Do not lean over the edge. Because once you're in the water, from what I understand, and I'm not trying to spread fake news, once you're in that water, it's going to be hard to get you out. They have those lifeboats and stuff, but I think just the currents and everything are going to make it hard for us to get to you. So do not fall over the side. Don't get so drunk that you fall over the side of a ship. Also, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, that they have a jail on the ship for people that are acting up. So if you're acting up too much, even for a pontoon party that's sponsored by Trailer Trash Tammy, you're going to go to the ship jail. And I don't know if you have to wear one of those orange jumpsuits or if you can wear your regular clothes. I don't know because I've never been to the ship jail. What else do we going to do on there? I think we're going to do a live mukbang. Also, never been done except the last time we were there. We did a live mukbang and we played bingo. And I got to call the numbers. Tammy got to call the numbers, and the people was sitting out in the audience and playing bingo and winning prizes. Today is December 15th, and in history, I've got some things written down. In 1979, a young man named Chris Haney and some other guy who I didn't write his name down, they developed the game Trivial Pursuit. I've played this game many, many times in my life, and I liked the little pie, putting the pie pieces in. And I could get almost any of the pie pieces except for the sports one. Lacked sports knowledge. Don't ask me who in 1967 had the most RBIs, because I'm not going to know. Never got the sports pie. And I can't remember if there was an option like switch one out. If you don't know these, switch one out and get this. Never good at sports trivia. You going to ask me who invented the light bulb? I'm not going to know. But I'm more likely to answer a question in the entertainment, historical people. Let me look up all the things. Do y'all remember playing Trivial Pursuit? I think they had one for children. That's the one I should have been playing as an adult. I think it's cool that people, there's the little pie pieces. There's something just so aesthetically pleasing about those pie pieces. You must collect all 6 colored wedges and correctly answer a final question in the center of the board. Okay. Let me look at the categories. It's not telling me. That should be just something that's very... okay, we got geography was blue. Not good with geography. Entertainment was pink. Was good at that one. History is yellow. Not good at that. Arts and literature was first brown and then later purple. Was good at that. Nature is green. Good at that. If you ask me, what is a plant that has a trunk? I'll say a tree. Easily. What is how many cells does a plant have? And I'll say, I don't know. But I know there's something different between cells of humans and cells of plants. Is it a singular cell organism? Okay, maybe I wasn't as good at the game. And then sports and leisure. Yep, that's the one I really never got. What is the hardest question in Trivial Pursuit? Let's see. Who was the official hair consultant to the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics? And if it doesn't tell me the answer, it was Vidal Sassoon. Is that brand even a brand anymore? What is the scientific name for a rabbit's tail? It's called a scut. Didn't know that. Who played bass guitar for the Beatles only for the group's 4 appearances in December 1960? Don't know the answer to this. How many rings make up one of the Michelin man's arm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. See, I had it in my brain that I was kind of good at it, and I don't think I was. And a game where only one person knows all the facts isn't fun. So I want to play a game called Life or sorry, or hungry, hungry hippo. I can control the outcome of the hungry hippo because I am actively pressing. I'm pressing it. The hippo's going like this, scooping balls. Very easy. That's the kind of game I can excel at. Candyland. Very easy. Chutes and ladders. I got you. But you bring out a game like Trivial Pursuit or Risk. Now, Risk is another game that a lot of men that I knew played, and they never would let me play because they would say things like, this isn't for girls, or girls aren't smart enough to play this. Have you ever played Risk, Aiden? He's never played it, so he didn't have to deal with that male, what's it called? Toxic male behavior. It was just a big game about conquering lands, which makes sense because men love doing that. What's another game I liked? I like the ones where you could draw. They'd say, draw something, and you draw it, and people would guess it. So, yeah, that was in 1978. And I was already a human being that was alive and had thinking thoughts. In 1988, another fact for today, Lori Davis sued Mike Tyson for grabbing her buttocks. And this is at a time when it was okay to grab people's buttocks. In the 80s, you could grab people's buttocks. Now you can't. Back then, a guy could grab you. He could come up and hug you and kiss you. And nobody thought anything about it. It happened constantly. That's just the 80s. And the fact that this gal was able to sue him, I don't know if she won. She sued him. That's unheard of. When I think of Mike Tyson, I think of the Mike Tyson Punch-Out game on Nintendo. And I could maybe get as far as the third or fourth guy. I could get Soda Pop Penske. I could get the guy that had the rose in his mouth. I never got to punch out Mike Tyson all the way. And maybe that's something I could start working on. I actually got home last night from being on the road, and I was very excited to play my Farm Together game. Well, unfortunately, before I left, I didn't have the foresight to plant any crops, and there was nothing to harvest. And I was so tired last night, and I had to look up facts for today's podcast that I couldn't plant crops. And it's going to be a busy week. I'm only home for a week, and I need to figure out how to incorporate my Farm Together time. Apart from, other times that I have to work, because I got work to do. People are just sending me text messages, and I just feel like I have to look. All right. Thinking more about Mike Tyson. Yeah, so I don't know the outcome of that. I guess I could look that up. I need a producer that's like, well, did you look it up? Settled out of court. Does it say an amount? God, I love having a producer. And you know what? If we was really fancy, we'd have a screen up here that I could look at. And he would be typing in stuff, and I could read it. I could be like Theo Von and be like, look up Lori Davis getting grabbed by the buttocks. She sought $1 million. So back in the 80s, $1 million, you were good. If you got $1 million, you were. What happened to Lori Davis? Okay. So there's probably a lot of Lori Davises. And I hope you like these new facts and what happened on this day in history, because I think one of the common quotes in history is, if you don't know your history, you will be doomed to repeat it. That's why I like doing this. I don't want people going around and creating a game called Trivial Pursuit because it's already been created. I don't want a man thinking he can grab a woman's buttocks and get away with it because you can't. But had Lori Davis not walked, then we couldn't run. And I hear that a lot, and I don't exactly know what that means. But I'll hear like, let me think of an example. What's a good example of that? Debbie Gibson walked so what's her name? Chapel Roan could run. Also today, there were two different national days. It was National Tea Day, and I thought, I don't want to start talking about tea because I like tea, but I think people are like, oh, give me a green tea with this, that. And it's like, that's just too fancy. The other national day was National Wear Your Pearls Day. I do not own a set of pearls, real or fake. If I was going to get a pearl, I would buy fake ones because I used to watch on Facebook women that would shuck an oyster and get pearls out and then sell them on the internet. For instance, it's basically kind of not really a pyramid scheme. It's not an MLM, but she gets a bunch of oysters and she says, oh, we got Desiree from Tennessee, and she bought four oysters. So she'll open them up in real time, and there'll be all these pearls in there. Ooh, you got a beautiful pink pearl. Ooh, you got a beautiful purple one. But the thing is these aren't naturally occurring pearls. They are deliberately putting things in these pearls. In these oysters to make the pearls. So they're putting, I wish we had our screen. What I think happens is a little piece of debris or sand gets in an oyster. And then the oyster says, ooh, that doesn't feel good. I don't like that. I'm going to start building a resistance. And it starts creating what eventually is a pearl. Now, these people that are falsely manufacturing pearls are placing things into these oysters on purpose, causing harm. Imagine you're an oyster and you feel good and you're laying there, you're in the ocean. Somebody grabs you out and then you're startled, because why are you getting grabbed by human hands? And then someone starts injecting pieces into you that hurt. You fact checking me? Does it sound right so far? Did you text me something? Layered substance called nacre, which is a mixture of calcium carbonate and a protein. It's too many words. And if I was to get this question on Trivial Pursuit, I would have not lost it. But basically, they're purposely irritating that little oyster and irritating his skin and his insides to make him make this beautiful pearl. But the point that I'm trying to make is this oyster has taken an adverse situation, i.e. the debris inside of it, and turned it into something beautiful. And you might say to yourself, wow, that is really profound. Yeah, sometimes I say profound things. Sometimes in my life, adverse things will happen. For instance, someone from a cream shack will call me and tell me about passing bad checks. Or, Fingerhut, I have a very large debt. I'm going to take that adverse reaction and deliver it to you guys as laughs. You get to laugh at my pain and the absurdity of it. Something else that's happening right now that is adverse, it is almost Christmas. And I've never shown y'all this, but I have this beautiful candy thing here that I intended since I started this podcast to put candy in. And not just any candy, but hard candy. The hard Christmas candy that nobody likes, but that you have to put in one of these to share with your friends in Christmas. Remember when you would go to your grandmother's house and you'd be fiending for some sugar? And your grandma would say, go over there on the coffee table. I've got some candy for you. And you would open this up. And what you would see inside is a hunk of candy. Hard candy that had been sitting there for anywhere from 13 to 40 years in one giant clump. And you would kind of like hit it so you could get a piece of it. Then you put it in your mouth and you would not be satisfied because it was disgusting. My intention was to put some hard candy in here, hard Christmas candy, and I still haven't. Will I have some in here by the Christmas episode? We'll see. We'll see, folks. It'll be a Christmas miracle. But yeah, I'm going to take something adverse like that where I've not put candy, and I'm going to hopefully turn it into a beautiful story of resilience and some other words like resilience, confidence, probably some other words that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, that's where we're at. How was your week? We'll do good. We'll do good response and then bad response. How was your week today? Really? That is cool. That is really cool. I am so pleased and happy for you. Now we'll do the bad one. Hey, how was your week this week, sweetheart? Are you kidding me? He did not do that. She's a real bitch. Well, I'll be thinking about you and praying for you. Probably not that part, but I will be thinking about you. And if you are sitting here thinking you can't even really hear me, I'm trying to pretend that we are sitting in our living room together and I'm asking you about your day. So just bear with me. Don't have a hunk of the week this week again. And that's okay. We don't have to do the same segment every week, all week, every week. What's important is, and every time Aiden sends me the file for the podcast and the numbers keep increasing, 17, 18, 19, I just think, I cannot believe that we're still doing this. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. This wouldn't be happening if Aiden wasn't here because I don't have the wherewithal to do it. Sometimes you just need another person to help you push that thing over the limit. And that's who Aiden is. And if you're like, is Aiden a real person? Yes, he's a real person. His Instagram is posted in the description if you want to go be nosy and give him a follow. I shared a story of him last week and my dumbass forgot to put his link like a real ding dong. Where was I going with this? I was talking about something. We needed Aiden. We got Aiden. He helps. Also, what do you think of this Christmas shirt, everyone? It is a bedazzled horse that says Merry Christmas. And I bought this in California at a hotel called the Madonna Inn. And the Madonna Inn is a very old hotel that I think maybe some famous people went to at a time. And my cousin Tammy loves to go to places that celebrities have visited. She likes to see where Marilyn Monroe has been. She likes to go where, a lot of Marilyn Monroe stuff. And I don't know too much about her. I just know that she was seen as sort of not a plus size model, but a bigger model. And I look at her and I think, damn, if she's plus size, what am I? And don't answer that. Yeah, she was a great gal. She was beautiful, and I think maybe a tortured soul. A lot of people in the entertainment business are tortured souls. Someone made a comment about, oh, you comedians are so sensitive. Well, yeah, that's why we're comedians. There's something wrong with us. People that do this, people that make things to make people laugh or whatever, there's something wrong with us. That's why we do this. We don't do this because we're perfectly sane. We're, we don't do this. We don't do that. You don't do this kind of activity if you're perfectly sane and well adjusted. That was that word I was looking for. Well adjusted. Yeah, we are sensitive. And I think that's why I think a lot of us wear our hearts on our sleeves. Now, if that was literal, if people really had their heart on their sleeve, that would be disgusting. You're not going to walk up to a person like Brad Pitt or any of the people from the movie Goonies in the 80s. And what you're going to hear about is trauma, insecurity, family you're going to find something that makes them want to do this. The reason I want to do it is because I like to share my stories. And yes, sometimes you might hear a story over and over and over again. Is that because I have dementia? It could be. But I like to share a story. I just tried to look at the side of my eye to see if Aiden was going to say 30 or if Safety Man was going to say 30. Neither one of them. I think if this was possible, and this has nothing to do with what I was thinking of, I think it would be fun if me and all of Miss Crystal's crystals could get matching pajamas from Old Navy and sit around a Christmas tree and take a picture. And then we take that picture to Walgreens and print out about, I don't know, 300. And it says, Merry Christmas from Crystals, and Miss Crystal. And then we send those out to all of our family members. And our family members, your family members will say, who is this elderly woman and who are all these other people wearing matching pajamas? And then you'll say, well, you got to be Miss Crystal's crystal to know. Nothing would be more fun than that. Or if we had matching pajamas and we were around a fireplace. And then the font would be like a nice bubble letters that says, Merry Christmas from Crystals, and Miss Crystal. Maybe I'm in a chair, like a nice chair, how the chairs they have at the mall for Santa Claus, where it has a lot of velvet and gold. And I'm sitting in that like I'm some kind of royal queen, and then all Miss Crystal's crystals are sitting around smiling. Maybe we have candy cane. We're all holding candy canes, and we're like kind of licking the candy cane seductively, like. And maybe behind us we have stockings, and each one of our names are on it. But the stockings are shaped like crystals. Damn, this is such a good idea. Why didn't we think of this before it was a week before Christmas? There's no way we can get these sent out in time for Christmas. This is something that we need to think about for next Christmas. And then maybe we could even, because I don't want to have to Photoshop this. I want it to be realistic. We could get a couple of those fake deer that people put in their yards and have those on the sides. And then we could get fake snow and put that in front of us. I'm trying to think what other really cool things. Maybe a couple Christmas wreaths. Oh my God. It went by so fast, the 30 minutes. If I reach down here and this bell's not here, guess what? 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Sound like a Christmas song. The bells of Christmas are ringing. The bells of Christmas are singing. Worth celebrating. Worth celebrating. The hell was I talking about? Oh, our Christmas cards. Not even a Christmas card, more like a Christmas postcard where it just has the picture on the first, the front. And I don't know how logistically we would do this. How are we getting all the crystals in one location for one picture? It's not going to work. And I'm not a person that's like, believe in your dreams. Theoretically, this can't possibly work. But hypothetically, it could. And there can always be a situation where the way we used to do Photoshop back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, we would take pictures and cut them out and place them together. That could be a possibility. But for all of us to be in the same room together, I mean, just judging by some of the comments, I don't know that all of us will be able to get along. 99% of us would, but there's going to be that errant person that shows up and starts flinging shit like he's an ape at the zoo, he or she. Which would be kind of cute for a Christmas picture if you see a one errant guy, throwing his fecal matters. All right, I would like to get to the figurine. Figuring out the figurine. I always accidentally say figurine of the week, and it's not. It's figuring out the figurine because we are figuring it out. This one was acquired by me at a thrift store. And of course, as soon as I saw it, I had to have it. And I tell you what, this thing is in mint condition. It was in the box and still covered in plastic. And I think to myself, who discards these? Who discards a brand new figurine and haphazardly gives it to a thrift store? If you think about this cute little snow woman, it almost makes me think of like a movie like Toy Story where the toys have feelings. You mean to tell me this cute little snow woman who's putting makeup on is sitting in a thrift store alone, sad, and feeling unwanted? What does that say on the back? It says something. I don't know what I did with the box. Sorry about that. Okay, this box, this is how I saw it. And it was called Snow Buddies. And I saw that and I said, when I open that, it's going to have the coolest thing in there. And I was right. And it had styrofoam in this bag, which they always tell you, keep these away from children. Children aren't safe around plastic. And if you don't know that, don't have children. But this is a snow buddy. It is a snow woman that is sitting outdoors in snow. And she has her hat, scarf, gloves on, and boots. And she's applying makeup. Is she going on a date? Is she going out to dinner? And if so, what do snow people eat? Do they have internal organs, such as a stomach, esophagus? what do snowmen do when they go on date? Do they go ice skating? Do they go sledding? I'm sure it's a lot of snow related activities, but you can also see, if you look closely, she has a perfume bottle. When I smell snow, snow has a smell. When I smell it, I get excited because it has a fresh, cold smell. So is she spraying more of that smell on herself, or is she spraying like a Chanel or a White Diamonds or some other perfume? She looks to be applying powder, which I don't think she needs. The lipstick, cute, eyeshadow, but the powder, she's snow. Okay, she doesn't need powder. She's snow. Her complexion seems to be pretty pale. So a snow-colored powder isn't necessary. I just think it's really cute how she has her little leg crossed and her little boot. Oh, her boot and the little tablecloth are matching. It has snow. Those things called? I do have dementia. Snowflake. Damn. Lord Jesus, help us all. This one has a number on the back, but it's not numbered like it's. Let me see if I can do this. If you just bear with me for one moment. If you could help me figure this out while I'm doing this, that'd be wonderful. I should have done this before. But when I go to the thrift store, I open up my phone and I will get what's called Google. Get on the. Damn it. Hold on, y'all. Google Lens. And Google Lens will say, oh, this is from 1992 or whatever. Oh, earlier I took a picture. I have this little rash on my hand here from my watch, and I took a picture of it, and it told me exactly what it was. Contact dermatitis. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, what I was trying to do was see what this was, or how much money this is worth. Because I bought it for $3.99. Let's see how much it's worth. Oh, someone's selling it for $18. It said, you guys are going to think I planned this. You guys are going to think I planned this, and I swear to you on everything that's holy, I did not. It says, Encore Snow Buddies, Aunt Crystal Vanity Makeup Dressing Table Sparkly from 2001. Her name is Aunt Crystal. And that's making me emotional because when I went into the thrift store, and you heard me just say it, and I saw this box, I knew there was something special in here. And I should have Google Lensed it while I was there, but I didn't feel like I needed to because I thought, let me get this cute little snowman home. And come to find out that her name is Aunt Crystal. And I swear to you, I did not plan this. This little snow figurine and me are cosmically entwined. Her name is Aunt Crystal. And I feel like I'm an aunt to many of y'all. Many of y'all will say, Crystal, will you adopt me? Crystal, will you be my grandma? I don't want to be a grandma per se, because that is very old. I'll be somebody's aunt. Miss Crystal, aunt of the crystals. I just can't believe it. I have to look at it again. I almost fell out of my chair. Snow Buddy's Aunt Crystal Vega. What the? I mean, and the fact that I could make a profit of $15 if I was to sell this, I'm not going to sell this because I rescued this. I'm not selling this, but if I did or want to and make a $15 profit on eBay or Poshmark or Facebook Marketplace, I could. And there's glitter coming off of it. That's what I figured out. I figured it out that this is me if I was a snow person. Applying makeup, getting ready for a date. Do snow people have intercourse? I don't know. But I think her putting on that makeup is saying to me she's looking for a good time tonight, if you know what I mean, with a snowman. Hopefully it's not Frosty, the snowman, because that guy's got a bag of tricks. What I mean by bag of tricks, and I've talked about this before, and I don't care if you have heard it already. Oh, do you hear my stomach? Frosty the Snowman took children across state lines and put them on trains. And for many years, we just accepted this as okay. There were songs about it, books about it, cartoons about it. Frosty the Snowman kidnapped children. There's even a police officer involved in this who said, hey, you guys stop. You can't cross here. And guess what they did? They kept it moving. And the next thing you know, Frosty has these children on a freight train. It's winter. He didn't ask their parents, hey, can I take your kids on a train ride? But yeah, let's just hope that Aunt Crystal ain't going on a date with Frosty. Let's do some voicemails. That was the end of that. I just feel so pleased. And I hope you believe me that I didn't know. I feel as if maybe I'm developing a condition called lice. Because my head is itching. I mean, I just can't believe her name was Aunt Crystal, spelled exactly like mine. Sometimes Crystals spell their name with a K. That ain't me. I ain't doing that. Every time I go to type that in, I know that it's the wrong one, and I do it anyway. Voicemail, it's time for the voicemail. Alrighty, let's just start here at the top. We have quite a few. We don't have to play all of them, but I just choose them randomly.
Hey, Miss Crystal, it's your biggest fan and supporter, Michael Diamond. You probably don't know who I am, but I just want to say that I love you so very much, and your podcasts are literally like my favorite, and I watch them on a daily basis. I'm so addicted. But I guess like my main question for you is, when are you going to do a collaboration or a podcast with Sherilyn Barnes? All right, honeys, I love you. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Michael Diamond. Thank you for being my number one supporter, as you said. Michael asked about Sherilyn Barnes. I've talked about Sherilyn one other time. She is a entertainer in Australia, and she's very funny. I don't think she's ever been here, and I've never been to Australia, so I don't know how that could happen. We could do some sort of Zoom podcast, but I hate a Zoom podcast. Anybody could do that. We need it in person. We need Sherilyn sitting here with Safety Man, in her she has very beautiful outfits like me. She has nice blouses, nice pants. I don't know. If you think it's possible, write Sherilyn and say, hey, you need to get with Miss Crystal. Sometimes, though, the thing with Sherilyn, she doesn't have a filter, meaning she will get in internet beefs with celebrities, and these celebrities will block her. I don't want Sherilyn to come on here and say something so controversial that I get blocked by a celebrity or get banned on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to have Sherilyn sign some kind of thing that's like, I will not talk about so and so, or I will not talk about controversial topics because I'm not looking to get banned.
Hey, Crystal, it's me, John, from the laundromat. I was just calling because Peggy told me that you were in here the other day trying to shake the vending machine to get out some snacks without paying. Now listen, I know we did what we did in the truck, and you think that you own that laundromat a little bit, but I have to tell you that the auditors are looking, okay? Now, if you want some free snacks, there's a little supply closet back in the back. All you got to do is text me, and I'll get you the code. And if Peggy's there, you best be careful because you know she's a snitch and no one likes her. Also, I wanted to let you know that you left some of your drawers in the dryer, and
Okay. You didn't have to say that
you're
part.
going to have to come pick those up. So I'll hold on to them for you. You know, they'll be real safe with me, girl. Anyway, honey, I just wanted to give you a buzz. I thought about calling your personal number. I know you don't like it when we
Exactly.
call on this line, but I think you have me blocked. So I don't know what I did,
Probably.
but I apologize if the last time we met up I had a couple too many to drink. So
John.
Anywho, I guess as you say, be blessed beyond your condensations or whatever. Okay.
John, that's
Bye-bye.
why you're blocked.
Talk later.
It's not blocked beyond your condensation. It's not blessed beyond your condensation. It's blessed beyond your comprehension. You have so many blessings that you can't even comprehend it. Not condensation, which is wetness. I must have you blocked. I don't remember blocking you on my phone, but I will look. And secondly, wasn't stealing any chips. What happened is I was trying to get those little lemon sandwich cookies, right? I put my $1 in. It turned halfway, and then the thing is sticking out like this. So I'm shaking it, trying to get my cookies loose. So then I got the bright idea. I'll put another $1 in. That'll turn and make both of them fall. Well, guess what? Didn't happen. So I'm shaking the machine trying to get my cookies out. Didn't come out. Nobody, Peggy wasn't there. She's nowhere to be found, of course. And you need to be checking on what she's doing behind the laundromat. I made a makeshift sort of hook and grasp thing. I took a hanger and I pulled it out and I stuck it in the hole, and I kind of was fishing around, and lo and behold, not only did my 2 lemon cookies come out, but also a bag of Doritos, a pack of gum, and some Lifesaver jellies. And that, I didn't put the stick on those. That is something that happened as a result of me just hitting my cookies. I don't know how that worked. So that is not stealing when it was an accident. Secondly, you have a little slot on the bottom for juicy fruit that doesn't have a number. It goes E7 in the juicy fruit, no number, then E9. How are we supposed to know what the juicy fruit is? How are we supposed to press it if it's not up there? But I'll be up later to pick up my underpants. Hello?
Hi, Miss Crystal. This is Grant calling from Scotland. I heard on your latest podcast that you love Outlander and you've got a thing for the guy in it. So I just thought I'd give you a quick phone call and ask if you have a little Scottish in you.
Oh.
And if not, would you like some? I've got a question. So my question is, as you're a lady who has a larger chest, I work in retail, and in the summer here it gets pretty hot. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time women come in, and when they go to pay, they give you cash out of their cleavage. They pull it out of their boobs.
Okay.
Do you think that's acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think sweaty boob cash is an acceptable thing to give to a cashier or someone behind a till? Anyway, lots of love. I love the podcast, everything about it, you, Tammy, Jem, everything. And of course, this new podcast is fantastic. Lots of love. Bye.
I will say this. Let me get this fella's name. Oh, damn it. That was an authentic Scots man. That was not a fake accent. That was real. He's really from Scotland. And you know how I know?
Hi, Miss Crystal.
It doesn't
This
say
is
a phone
Grant
number.
calling from Scotland.
It says unknown.
Hi, Miss Crystal. This is Grant calling from.
This is Grant. Authentic. And I cannot believe a man from Scotland was able to call my podcast. I can't believe that a man in Scotland has seen my podcast. I'm blown away. Grant. I cannot believe that this podcast is reaching other countries. It is blowing my mind. And I'm so starstruck I can barely even answer the question. I just can't believe it. Now you asked me if sweaty boob cash is appropriate. Well, I will say this. I cannot believe that sweaty boob cash is a thing in Scotland. That's really cool. I thought that was just an American thing. And you're asking me if I think that's okay. Not only do I think it's okay, I encourage it. I encourage women to place their money in their chest where it's safe. Do you know how many victims of robbery women are each year because their purses and pocketbooks are stolen? I would say anywhere from 100 to 1,000. We have to keep our money here because there are assailants out there that will come by when you're just strolling down the street holding your pocketbook and will grab it and run. And most of us that have what's called a pocketbook is an older woman, and we can't chase you. If you don't like touching sweaty boob cash, wear a glove. You know, I always put it right here, and I don't sweat right here. Some women put it under for real good protection. Keep it up here, ladies. Don't put it under here. Now, I have seen women, and I've been known to do this, that will put it in their underwear section. Don't put it in the underwear. Put it between the pant and the underwear for protection. And I thought he said when they go to pee, because the difference in the language is different, but I realized he said when they go to pay. When they go to pay. And I don't know if this is possible, Grant, and maybe this is something we could talk about off the air. Do you have any desire to meet with me via a Zoom phone call? Not to fall in love, because that would be ridiculous, but to do sort of a tutoring thing where you say, okay, Miss Crystal, today we're going to practice common Scottish words. And you say a word and then I try to repeat it. Like when you said your name was Grant, I heard Grant. Maybe you could coach me on having a Scottish accent, because I can do a lot of different accents, but Scottish is one I have not been able to master because it's very difficult. Also, you said, do you have any Scottish in you? Would you like some? I don't, and I would like some. Grant. Is there any way that you could take a camera or your phone and go to different places in Scotland and see if you can find Sam Heughan, who is the actor that plays Jamie on Outlander? If you could do that, that'd be really cool. I would love it. Maybe get his autograph. Maybe tell him to watch Miss Crystal's podcast program Maybe tell him he was the hunk of the week. And that might be asking too much. But I appreciate your call. And if you're somebody that's watching this and you think that Grant was a fake Scottish person, guess what? I'm here to tell you it's authentic.
Hi, Miss Crystal. This is James. I would really like to see your butthole. Thank you. Bye.
Gotta listen to that again, make sure that's what I heard.
Hi, Miss Crystal. This is James. I would really like to see your butthole. Thank you. Bye.
You know what, James? I'm not going to be mad. And here's the reason I'm not mad. You were polite. You said your name. And you asked nicely. Am I going to show it to you? No, absolutely not. But I appreciate you saying your name and asking politely.
Hi, Miss Crystal. This is James. I would really like to see your butthole. Thank you.
And there was no beating around the bush. There wasn't a 10-minute long message. You said, Miss Crystal, I would really like to see your butthole. And you said, thank you. Take that as an example, everybody who's calling. Polite, concise, state your name, and say thank you. Not wasting my time, not wasting your time. This is what this voicemail is set up for. Calls, well, not asking me to see my butthole, but, calls like this. Sorry, James, not today.
Hey, Miss Crystal. It's Barbara from the old Pick and Pack Save a Lot. Listen, I went down to Dollar General because you had told me they had them porcelain mariachi Precious Moments bands, baby dolls, and I wanted to get one for my nephew. They didn't have them. I bet you bought all of them.
I'm
you little
scared
finger
how this is gonna
anyway.
end up.
I ran in and told Jenny. Jenny said she's having herself a Tasteful Treasures party next Tuesday night. And then I remembered you telling me about how since your friend passed away not too long ago, Sam, and that you was feeling a little lonesome. And I thought, well, hell, I'll take you to the Tasteful Treasures party and see about getting you a little friend, if you know what I'm talking about. So I had to call you right away. Anyway, if you're holding back on those Precious Moments mariachis, you better speak up, woman. If not, I'll see you Tuesday, 5:45. We'll go for drinks, and then we'll go buy some dildos.
Tasteful Treasures is a party that I will not be a part of. I've been to, I can't remember that gal's name. Sandy had one, I think. And this was 2 or 3 years ago. Crystal, come over to my Tasteful Treasures party. And I'm thinking it's figurines. Because I hear treasures, I think figurines, And I said, sure. And I go there. And first of all, when you first get there, she's got all these different snacks put out, little finger snacks, little tiny sandwiches, chips, crackers, and cheese. And I thought, this is really, really nice. And then we start having, a little bit of fruit juice. She puts it in wine glass to make you think you're getting drunk. But next thing I know, I'm sitting in a circle with 10 other women, and she starts bringing out dildos, lubes, nipple clamps, sex swings, sex wedges. And I thought, I'm a Christian woman. I thought we were doing cute little figurines, not sex toys. And I'm not a prude, but I don't want to sit around the room with 10 other women looking at sex toys. And I thought, calm down. All she wants you to do is buy a sex toy. She's going to hold it up, show us what it is. No, she starts demonstrating. She starts using the things she's selling on not only herself, but each one of us. Over our pants. And that's not something I wanted to do in front of people. And, as you know, me and pretty much every woman in our family are squirters. So I'm making a mess everywhere all over this Tasteful Treasures party. And she's screaming, Crystal, you're peeing all over the floor. And I said, it ain't pee. It's another substance. And then we got into argument about, is squirt pee or is squirt something else? And it's just a whole debate. Well, by the end of the night, I had bought 4 products and somehow signed up to be a seller just like her. So for the next 6 months, I'm doing these parties and trying to sell this stuff to all my friends. And I've got a surplus of over $2,000 worth of sex toys that I can't possibly use ever. And no one wants to buy them. So no, I'm not going to that party with you, to answer your question.
Hi, Miss Crystal.
You're not going to believe this. We are actually out of time. We're out of time. When I started this, I thought, there's no way. I just got to do crystals real quick. And then we're going to go. I'll continue these calls next time. My YouTube, Crystal, is a person named Katie Friends. Katie Friends. Love you. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being on my YouTube. Now my Patreon, Crystals. Stephanie L. For love. Thank you. Dana. Don't have your last name, and that's probably better because people on the internet are crazy and will look you up and try to call you on the telephone. Thank you, Dana. And Philip M. When I hear the name Philip, I think of a king, a royal person, somebody who's in charge of a country. And I appreciate that. Philip. Damn, I can't believe I was really mouthing off today, wasn't I? We're going to take a thumbnail. Oh, with this beautiful Christmas shirt. It's like, what did we get for Christmas? Oh, wow. Thank you all so much for being here. And hype it up. I've never been one of the videos that was like the 67th most hyped up video. Anyway, thank you to all my crystals. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to Aiden, and thank you to Safety Man, and have a blessed day, and may you be blessed beyond your comprehension.